Hello, everybody. My name is Shirley Elizabeth Vides. I am your professor for your Chemistry 110 LS, which is General Chemistry Lab, Part 1. I am very happy that you're here. Welcome, everyone. And there are a few things I would like to point out so that our class goes smoothly this semester. Number one, let me share my screen so I can show you where things are as I tell you. Okay. All right. Let me go back to home. Yes, here we go. Okay, so here we are. Number one, make sure you read the welcome message and go on to the very first thing that you need to do is you need to read the syllabus. If you click syllabus here, you will get to it, and you also get the syllabus for Canvas. But if you want to look at the syllabus itself, you can go to modules also. So this is one way to get there, and this is the other. I'm about to show you. All right, so go back to modules. Click on modules. Sorry, don't look at that. Okay, right here where it says course overview, you read that. That's about me. Here's how you can reach me. Course resources, that's just a few things that you can look through later on and all of that. Although these are more resources than anything. Now, you will reach this class orientation video, obviously, by clicking on that. You will also introduce yourself. Here's a suggested schedule for Chemistry 110. And if you click on it, it's not a date thing, it's more like a week thing. So week 1, week 2, week 3, that kind of thing, and what you should do on that day. See that? Tells you exactly what to do and all of that. We'll get more into more of the particulars of all of that in a minute. But okay, so that is so far your syllabus. You are going to reach it through here also. This is another way to reach it right here. So as you can see, you can read it directly or you can download it by clicking on this link. All right, the next thing is a syllabus quiz, which you will take. It does not count towards your final grade, but please take it. Actually, it does count to your, why does it say it does not? It does count to your final grade. I need to fix that. Next, okay, so the next thing is, if you have a question, there's always this forum that you can ask questions of me, to me, I mean, about the course to me. Here's your first, never mind, that's not yours. Sorry. There are 15 total simulations in this course. That is actually my area. Sorry, I showed you that. Let me go back to modules again. And there are a few things that you guys don't need access to. So this is my access. So, all right. So like I was telling you, so that's the orientation video. That's the class interactions. That's the quiz. That you don't need that. Next thing is the very first module. You will watch the ACS lab safety video, and you will access the simulation by clicking on the link where it says Labster Chemistry Safety Link. So you will click it, and you notice that one is due September 2nd. Most everything else is not, but since it is safety, I want you to do it before everything else. All right, so make sure you do that first. You notice that right here, it tells you everything. If you want to go ahead and play it, you're going to hit play right here, or you can click on the video thing where it says play, and it will take a little while to load. And I'm going to show you just a little bit about it and how you load it. But basically, the Labster platform does a really good job explaining what everything is for. So I'm just basically showing you this one time, but we will wait until it loads. It takes a little while. It usually stopped around 25, then it loads really fast and it stops again right before completion, and then it completes. And then you can navigate. Okay, see how it stopped? It's still, there it goes. There's the fast part. And make sure that when you access it using Google Chrome. It is the best bet. Seems to work the best for everything. If you are having problems with anything, make sure you clear your cache. And on your web browser, on your Google Chrome, make sure you clear your cache, and you make sure you leave to accept the cookies. If you don't accept cookies, then you will have a problem with this. Right, see, there it goes again. It pauses again, and then it'll do it again, and it takes a little while to load because the graphics are so good, and that it takes a lot of time to get them up there onto your screen. So just give it a little while. Be patient. Do not close the tab because it will stop loading. There it goes. There's the 85%, which is what I was telling you. It usually runs pretty quick, and then it takes another little while, and then it usually loads 100% after this. We'll see how it's doing. Depends on your also. There it is. Okay, so when you hit start, you are going to begin the whole thing.
Welcome to the chemistry safety simulation. Here you will learn how to safely work with dangerous chemicals. Are you ready to learn these skills to save a life?
So this is your lab pad. Make sure that you open it.
This simulation uses voiceovers. If you don't have audio, you can access the audio settings by clicking the gear icon on the top left of your lab pad. Then select audio and switch the play mode. If you disable the sound effects, the lab pad will slide up whenever there are instructions to read. You can select what type of audio you prefer, such as music, sound effect, and voice. Deselecting any of the options will mute that option. Click Continue to learn how to navigate through your mission. Using the lab pad is an important way to get the most out of this simulation. Is this the first time you've played a Labster simulation? Option A. Yes, it is. Please walk me through LabPad's features. Option B. No, it isn't. I already know how it works, thanks.
So of course you would select the yes. I'm going to select the no because I've already done it.
Perfect. Then let's get started with your first mission.
Okay, so basically you have these 4 settings and it'll tell you all about it. So like I said, this is not my part. Labster does a really good job on this. So I'm going to go ahead and stop it. And that you would get off by escape, hitting escape if you're not done. You notice that the score is 0, my progress 4%. You must complete a lab in order to get your score. In other words, you have to do 100% of the lab and then your score will show. If your first score is not good, you can redo it as many times as you wish. So you have that option. All right, so I'm just going to go ahead and close this one out, which will take me back to my Labster link. And there it is. Okay, so this is where we are. This is the Labster. Labster, every time that you're going to do any kind of thing, if you look at any kind of, simulation, you can look that I've tried to make it very simple for you. So you've got the first one you got the video, but these other ones, you just got the description and then you got the link. That's it. That's all you need. Now the next, that is all of these, there are 15 total simulations. And yes, they all say December 12th. However, I need to give you all a grade for midterms. So that happens to be my deadline for the first 7. I didn't want to change it in case somebody, has a problem or whatever. So this is why I'm not changing it officially on there. But I am telling you that you must complete the first 7 simulations, and they should go in order, please, if you care. It would be best. So the first 7 simulations, so up to periodic table, by October 18th. Everything is due on the 12th of December. Every single thing. Now we're going to look at the next thing, which we do not have a midterm or a final exam for this class. However, we do have what is known as a lab report. For the lab report, there are several things. You've got the basics right here, which if you click on it, you will see that it's telling you a few things. One of the things it says, here's a link to help you find one that might interest you. Okay, so basically you are just doing a very simple experiment that you can do at home. You don't need like scales and, test tubes and measuring things unless you want to measure something. And in this case, you can use a measuring cup, like, one of those Pyrex measuring cups. That would be fine. Or a tablespoon or that kind of stuff. Okay, you don't need official measurements. However, if you choose to do something more complicated and you want to go to a lab, it would have to be elsewhere. Now, this right here is a link that will take you to a description on thought.com, about a lab report right here. See where it says lab report essentials. You need a title page. In my case, I do require you to have one. And it's telling you some of the things on here that are in a lab report. However, my lab report's a little more complicated because it is your one and only thing you're doing. Therefore, I expect you to do more of this right here. You notice that there's a PowerPoint too. So you can do a PowerPoint. This is mainly a description of the parts of a lab report and what to expect. Now, the next thing, this is the one that I would use more than anything. Once you've written your lab report, use this. You notice you're doing an experimental design and a lab. So you're graded on both. So basically on here, it explains to you exactly what is expected at each one of your sections in your lab report. You must have a title, you must have a hypothesis, and it also tells you here that in this case, it communicates what you think is going to happen. However, you need to have a dependent and an independent variable and show whether it's increased, decreased, or changed in some way. Okay, so it is not as easy as all of that. Okay, and then you notice that there's an independent variable, and it tells you that you need to have levels, as in the types of things that you're going to do to change this particular variable, because you're manipulating this one. And the trials. Trials are basically how many times you're repeating the whole entire experiment. And that doesn't mean I have level 1, 2, 3, and 4, so I've got 4 experiments. No, that's one experiment. So you have to do the whole entire experiment over. All right, dependent variable is the responding variable and all of that. And then you've got constants. You need to say what things need to stay the same during the whole entire experiment. And also the control, the level on there that, that is it. A lot of times it could be no treatment, but as you look at the PowerPoint that I put on there for scientific method, it also shows you there's another way of doing it. So, and you guys can figure out what yours would be. All right, so then the format, see how it's telling you, and each time it's telling you exactly what to do. Now, for evaluating, once you finish yours, each time, look, there's a title, there's a hypothesis, all of this, you can check it, yes, yes, yes. And if you check yes, that it's on there, then guess what? You earn that point. Now, the creativity, that's for me to figure out and all that. But all of this is on here. Each time, procedure, it tells you there's a flow chart. There's a way to score it. Data table, there's a way to score the data tables. You have two different types of data tables, style 1, style 2. And you notice each time you got a mean, range, and a standard deviation. Okay. The next one is your checklist for evaluating your data table. See, all of this is all in here. It even tells you what type of graph to use. It depends on the type of thing. You notice it says if IV, so independent variable is a continuous range of measurements with equal intervals, then you use it there. Most of your experiments are not going to be this kind because you are not easily measuring things. So you might want to do a bar graph. Then again, it depends on what you're doing. So I can't determine right now, but it shows you here how you evaluate it, what is expected. Everything is on here, even how to write your summary. It is very detailed. If you don't make a good grade, it's because you didn't look at this. So make sure you do look at this. The lab report is also due on the 12th of December, the final draft. Now, when you have an opportunity to turn it in, and by the 29th of November, I will be looking at them. And after that date, I will give you pointers. Usually the pointers will occur, and I'm going to show you what Canvas does. Well, I don't think I can show you if I don't have something that's been turned in. Let me see if I can have another class. This is one that's already happened, I think. Let me just look and see, go to an assignment and see if I see anything that's been turned in. Okay, so like lab reports, right? Like the draft. Okay, so if you go into, yeah, this is an old one. So I'm just going to show you real quick what you would expect. So let's say that I'm grading, okay? So when I grade, I give you pointers, of course, not if you don't turn it in, but let's say this person turned it in right here. Okay, so I see how I've got all of these. Sometimes I'll do that, and sometimes I'll use these little things called annotations. Okay, like the effect of gum type on flavor longevity. That's perfect. That's an IV and a DV, so everything's good here. And you notice that she says the gum type is changed, the flavor longevity will vary. That's fine, because you cannot know if it's going to go up or down until you actually taste, do the actual experiment. See how I did that? See, move it with the DV. It does not need a separate heading. See that? Basically, you don't need the independent variable to be that. The independent variable are just the gums, yeah. All right, and then levels and trials. Okay, so this person did not do enough trials. You see, she only has one result. That's unacceptable. And I told her that she needs to do it 3 times at least. You see that? The reason we say 3 times is if you do it twice and you get 2 different results, how do you know which one's the real one, right? But if you do it 3 times and you get 2 results that are more similar and one that's not, then you are more likely to say my actual results are these 2 than that one. Okay, that's all that is. It's an odd number always. If you do an even number, you have the same possibility of it occurring 5 times, even if you do 10 times, 5 times one way, 5 times another way. So make sure that you do what you need to do. Like in her case, she's got a very well done graph because she's got the measurement right here. And you notice that it's a 0 because this is not a grade. This doesn't count for your grade, but I am giving you pointers at every single place. You see that? All right, so all of these things she went ahead and fixed. Later on, I'm not going to show you what she did because that's her grade, and this is not a grade, so it's okay if even you see her name. It doesn't matter. But what I wanted you to make sure you realize is whenever you're looking at yours, if I go to student view, which I don't think I can right now, but anyway, if I were to go to student view, you're not going to see these unless you look for them. So on your own lab report, you are going to have these annotations. However, you're going to have to look for them, okay? And so it says, I have made annotations throughout and provided pointers below. So that's what I'm going to do. See, there's a lot of pointers. I'm very detailed as far as I'm as much as I can be without actually telling you what to do. So make sure that you do that. Okay. And that is basically all. On the 29th, like I said, this will be due. This has no pointers, no points. So if you skip it, that's fine. The thing is, you won't get my help to improve. And if you can improve, I would. So as I was telling you, this is basically all of it. It is all ready for you to go. And make sure that you know everything else. Now, as far as we don't have any discussions because these are labs, so we don't do those. And you do have 2 firm due dates. That's October 18th for the first 7 simulations on Labster and October 12th for everything. Do not ask for extensions unless you have a really good excuse, please, because I have to grade all of your final lab reports, and I have to give you a grade by the actual due date. And I've given you as much time as I can, right? Thank you. I hope you will enjoy this class, and please do not hesitate to contact me if you need anything. Bye.